Man, come on in. Gorgeous Dre on the way. Interview with Gorgeous Dre. Interview with a street legend. It's going to be legendary. Interview with a straight legend. Y'all not going to get this nowhere else. Come on in the room. Come in the room. Gorgeous Dre, he about to add himself in right now. American Pimp star. Star of the documentary American Pimp. The real game god. You understand me? You think half of my videos, the game I got, was from Gorgeous Dre. Here he is. I'm going to add him as a moderator right now. Man, don't hate the player, learn the game podcast. Right? You got to support this shit. I'm bringing on people that you don't normally get access to. Dre, request to join again. Man, I got a lot of mentors in the game. Hog is definitely one of my mentors as well. You know, you sit at the feet of multiple giants when you want good game. For the one who asked, I thought it was Hog. Where's he at? Let me text Dre real quick. I seen him in the room. He has yet to request, though. Let me see if I can request him. There we go. Oh, yeah. Going on right now. Have some good questions.
What's happening with it, man?
What's going on? Let's give him 2 minutes because I told him 7:30. So let's give him a couple minutes to all get in the room.
Sure.
Before we get started. I told him, man, they don't really understand that this is a rare occasion.
That's right.
You don't just do interviews like that. You know, you blessing me with this interview right now and blessing the people. They're going to get some good gems, good game, and we're going to direct them to where they can find you later so, you know, they can pick up the rest.
Absolutely. You're right. I don't do a lot of people's podcasts or interviews, right? I just don't want to, not that I'm hating on anybody. I'm happy that everybody has a platform, but I'm just real selective about where I go and where I want to lend any credibility that I have too, right? You know, I know there's a lot of novelty stuff out there, and I'm not no novelty, so I'm not gonna lend myself to any novelties.
Right.
You know, I'm here because you ain't no novelty. You know.
and I do appreciate it. You know,
yeah.
Putting that stamp when you told me the other day that you supporting what I'm doing, man. That really means something coming from you.
Absolutely.
You know, I was letting them know before you got on that. They don't know a lot of the game and a lot of the stuff that they hear me, the videos I'm putting out. That's game I got from you. You know?
That's all love.
So you know, I want to bring you on so they can get it from the source. You know?
Right.
Because I kick it how I kick it, but it's nothing like kicking it how you kick it from directly from the source, how it comes uncut.
Yeah, the beautiful thing, Young Goldie, is that you know, I always say, you know, the information is mine until a person apply it, and it's theirs. And then it's theirs to develop it with their own personality and their own character. And so I love how you know, express it through your own personality, your own character, right? I love that. You know, it's you. And I'm just so happy that they're getting it, whether it's coming from me, whether it's coming from you, they're getting it. And that's what's most important.
Right, man. And that's real, because a lot of people that ain't supporting what I'm doing, you know, they trying to have like a patent on the game. I'm like, man, how you trying to copyright some game? I thought you gave the game to you know, to share, you know?
Right.
Look, we got some people in the room. It's 7:30. Let me give you a proper introduction because, you know, my audience is different. You know, it's diverse. So let me try to introduce you the best way that I can for everybody who's listening who doesn't know. It's with my great pleasure that you're here that I can introduce to my audience, my esteemed guest, you know, my loved one, Gorgeous Dre, also known as Andre Taylor. You know, he's an iconic figure, if you didn't know. Award-winning documentary American Pimp star, most of you know that. You know, a true street legend. You know, he's a legend in the game. An author, musician, teacher, but also a passionate community activist. right, successfully passed laws in Washington, you know, to hold police accountable, you know, and he did that using the strategies in the game he acquired in the streets. And he took that and conquered Washington. It's a true redemption story, you know, from the streets making millions to prison to getting out, changing laws, and becoming a millionaire again legitimately, helping people and changing laws for the people. You know, how you feeling? Welcome, Gorgeous Dre.
Thank you, loved one. Thank you, nephew. I appreciate that. Yes. And hello to your audience. I'm just happy to be here, right? Like I said, I don't get to go many places by choice, but I'm so happy to be here with you.
So just tell them a little something about yourself. You know, I tried to do what I could do for you, but just tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to jump into these questions and what I really have you here for.
You know, there's so many little dimensions and stuff to who I am. People know me from the streets. Some people know me from American Pimp. Some people know me from doing police accountability. So it's really difficult to try to sum, you know, who I think people might perceive me as, right? So somebody say, well, who do you perceive you as? Well, I perceive myself as a man first, right? So if I would describe myself, I would say I was a man. And I know that in today's society, that's such a watered down word. It's like a throwaway line. You know, sometimes when I'm talking to somebody and somebody might say something to me that don't have footprints. It don't have no footprints, so it's a throwaway line. Somebody said, well, what you mean by it don't have no footprints? It ain't heavy, right? It's just a throwaway line, right? So I know when we say today, I'm a man, right? It's like a throwaway line because, you know, people be saying that and they don't even know what it is, right? So I'm glad that you and I are going to talk and discuss a little bit about what a man is. So if I would describe myself, I would say I was a man before anything.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get in depth with that. You know, one of the first questions that I have for you, you know, because it gets real misconstrued. It's a word when people hear it, it has a negative connotation to it, right? So you tell me and tell the people, explain what game is to you.
What game is?
Yes.
Game is owning knowledge. That's what game is. When somebody say, you know, man, oh boy, got some game. Now in the streets, right? A lot of people think that game is trickery, right? Oh man, I gamed her up. I tricked her up. Well, if a person would say that to me, I would say, well, you don't have no game. What you got is trickery, right? Or what you got is lies.
No.
But game you don't have, right? Because game is truth, right? That's why it's so powerful. If I meet a woman and I might be in a nefarious lifestyle and certain vices, right? And I tell her, well, you know, before you decide to mess with me, I think maybe you need to understand what I'm about. And the reason why I'm telling you this ahead of time is because I want to give you the choice and the decision to decide whether you want to mess with an individual like me, right? So that's game because that's ultimate truth. I'm laying down to her, listen.
Ultimate truth.
That's ultimate truth. You might not want to mess with me because I don't do everything that might be agreeable with the law, right? But a person on the streets most of the time, they would construe game as a lie. So they go to her and tell her, well, you know, I got my own business, you know, I'm selling cars and I do a little real estate on the side, but they got a vice that they're in. So that's not game. That's just straight lying, right? And that's not game, and that's not what I'm about. Ultimate truth.
Right. And I think that's important, right? Because you really just dropped some gems, and I know people haven't heard that. They hear game, they think trickery, they think of being slick.
Right.
But y'all talking to the original game god right here, you know, and when he's describing what game is, he's saying game is ultimate truth. Can you have game and give that woman ultimate truth and her accept it and still deal with you? But all right, let's move on because we're gonna get to the manhood, but it's some questions that people really wanted to hear right from you. And I thought it'd be interesting to ask you some of these fun questions.
Sure.
Right. In this, what do you think about this city girl era where the music is influencing the average woman to almost act like a prostitute? Only use a man to get money out of a man. Don't mess with him unless he's buying you expensive things. What do you think about the mindset that they're propagating through the music right now?
Well, I'm not shocked, not just through the music, just in our culture, period, right? This is not my original. I heard somebody say this before, very smart you know, understanding of the situation. I think it was I was on maybe YouTube or IG, and I heard somebody say something, and I was like, that's very profound, and it's the truth, right? But what they said is that in a society, when you have ultimate masculinity and ultimate manhood, it produces ultimate femininity. It's a trade-off. It just automatically produces ultimate femininity. On the flip side, when you have a culture that has been emasculated and feminized, right, it produces in the woman ultimate masculinity, right? So that's a transfer. That's exactly what we're seeing right now, because we as a culture have been emasculated, right, feminized. Somebody might say, I ain't been feminized. Well, we'll get to it. I'll explain to you. Emasculated and feminized. And so what is happening and what has happened is the women have become masculized, right? They become extremely masculine. So I'm not shocked by that era of city girls and all that, because everything drives from the man, right? When I look at the condition of the culture and some of our women, I'm not necessarily blaming the woman, right? It's not that I don't give credence to some of her behaviors, but it's just that I'm so empowered about who a man is, right? That it's because of the man not being in his rightful position that have allowed her to be out of position, right? So let me just say it like this. I like Kevin Samuels. He had a few little things to say, you know, that had some truth to it. But I disagreed with him on a lot of things. And when I did so on some videos, some of his fans and people out there, they were really angry with me. And they're saying, well, Dre, man, you just jealous because he has 1 million, you know, subscribers and this, that, and the other, and whatever they were saying, right? So the reason why I addressed the situation with Kevin Samuels is because of his influence over Black men, emasculated Black men, that this is the sign of an emasculated Black man. An emasculated Black man will find something to blame. Listen to what I'm saying. Bring your whole mind, right? That's what I say in my classes. Bring your whole mind. This is the sign of an emasculated Black male, right? Or just a male, period, right? He's always looking for somebody to blame, for something to blame for the deficiencies within his own character. That is the sign. For every dude out there that want to know, for every female out there that want to know, that is the ultimate sign. You're always, or they're always looking for something to blame for their deficiencies. Well, if the broad would have did this, and if this would have did like this, and if this would have happened like this, then I would have been okay, right? That is not manhood. That is femininity. That is emasculation. And I've said this before. There is no culture outside of particularly Black culture where men blame their women. You don't see any other race blaming their women. Never. Because it is a shame to blame your women. Because what you're in essence saying that you're not man enough, right, to produce what's necessary for her to naturally submit before you.
Ooh, let them know.
Right? So, but you don't want to take that kind of responsibility because you've been listening to Kevin Samuels tell you that, oh, at best she's a 10, or at best she's a 7, or at best she's a 6, right? So you're looking for a reason to blame why you're not up to par, right? You're looking for that reason. Sign of emasculation, right? See, I've never had an issue with a woman submitting to me. Never. Black woman, Mexican woman, whatever race she is, I never had an issue for a woman submitting to me. And I didn't always have a lot of money. When I first started off in the lifestyle, I didn't have no whole bunch of money. I started from zero. But I never had a problem with a woman submitting, even though I didn't have no money, but I had, you know, a lot of beautiful women. Why is that? Because today's culture, we elevating what we think is most important and what we think makes a woman submit.
You touching on everything we was gonna get to, but go ahead, because you
okay,
touching
I'm
on
just
it all.
organically. We just going
Yeah.
organic. You can come